Women play a central role in agriculture across the continent as farmers, scientists, entrepreneurs, and leaders. And our institutions must reflect that reality.
At IIT, diversity is not symbolic, it is scientific capital. We look for diversity when we work together because it makes our science more rigorous and more relevant. As a result, we build for the community at large, not parts and pieces of it.
In my current role, I use the diversity at IIT as an advantage.
You know, when it comes to leveraging IIT's diversity to strengthen my science, I would say that the first key element I look for is the best ideas. And the best idea, the best research idea can come, in my view, from anyone. It can come from my supervisor, it can come from my subordinate, it can come from anyone that is involved in the work that we are doing.
Personally, I believe that when you have a diverse team, they bring different ideas and you are more innovative.
IIT diversity is a strategic asset that strengthens quality and inclusiveness for the creation of richer environment for everybody to thrive and excel without any fear.
The mentorship is key, and then there is no age where the mentorship should start.
As a female professional in the industry, I was able to leverage on the opportunity provided by my mentors and seniors in the profession.
One of the women that I aspire to excel as is Professor Ruth Onyango. She is an exceptional scientist and a wonderful human being, but she taught me to see people, get them where they are, and to help them advance. And I use the same method. I don't try to create poster children like of the scientists, but to understand where they're coming from, what do they want to achieve, and what is my role as a mentor to make that journey easy, memorable, challenging, and fun.
Since I started working, most of the people, the mentors I could look up to in the CG were men, but I also have to tell you that it is these same men I was looking up to who actually have supported me and helped me to grow in my career. For me, every time I meet a young African or a young scientist and I realize that that person has potential to contribute to the scientific world in Africa, I'm always straightforward with them, and I tell them, after the interaction I have had with you, the way you think, I'm sure you can contribute something positive to the scientific world in Africa. I also provide them with as much support as I can in terms of mentoring them for their weaknesses and providing them with the right opportunities when it comes to their strengths.
And for me, taking it forward is not a choice, is my responsibility. So I'm mentoring the PhD student for the next generation scientist. I provide them the exposure. So, for example, writing proposals, writing papers, going for the meetings.
I think we need to really focus on supporting women, giving them the opportunities, giving them the training. I think one key area is that move from PhD, finishing the PhD, to the postdoctoral positions, which are really the start of the independent career for the scientists, and make things as really viable as possible for them to move from completing their PhD to a postdoctoral position.
We are also encouraging more women to enter the scientific careers and ensuring that women are well represented across our research teams and leadership structures.
The contribution of women scientists has been very, very, very significant. We can think across all areas of the work of IITA. We can think of the breeding programs, we can think of nutrition, and we can think of other areas like agronomy and so forth. So it's been very significant.
There's a lot of evidence that addressing gender issues in science is not just something of fairness and equity. It is essential, because there's a lot of scientific papers proving that if you have teams with, that are more diverse, with the involvement of women scientists, that the solutions you develop are much more context sensitive or more adoptable and scalable. So being more inclusive, putting more emphasis on women scientists is not something we can do, it's something we should do if our solutions are to be more applicable and scalable. We need to absolutely facilitate women scientists to get engaged in R&D, to also get engaged in gradually moving in leadership positions. If you see at our current leadership structure, we have some female representation, but we need to do better. There's a number of activities that we can do to facilitate this. We are talking about mentoring programs, about leadership training programs, about sponsorship for potential training activities. So this is one thing we can do.
I have to be honest, research as a woman is challenging. I've had even recent examples where my expertise, my ability to lead, my ability to shape the research environment is questioned.
On my first job, I actually found myself working with a supervisor who didn't really appreciate what I was offering to the team.
Moving on in my career, there have been issues of stigmatization, stereotype, and gender barriers. Of course, those barriers, I see them as vibrations.
But those things don't discourage me. They make me more intentional in creating spaces where women are seen, heard, understood, and appreciated.
And I use it as an opportunity to strengthen my resilience and also ensure that working through the industry, I was able to uphold the required standards, respect for due diligence, and also ensure that women that are also in industries thrive.
It taught me to set boundaries for myself in terms of how I should be treated at work by my team members, and it also helped me also to really identify what I really like doing, and I realized that what I really like is actually the research. Because of that difficult experience I have had, I make sure that I do not mistreat my staff, especially in front of other people.
And for young women, I make sure when they speak up, the room has to stop and listen. I love my research. I have a sculpture in my office of a woman and a child, and it's a constant reminder that I work for those as my client. My work for a woman ensures that her child is not sick unnecessarily, that she's able to put a balanced diet to nourish her family, and for the community, that we nourish them to really live up to their potential, ensure food is safe, and ensure we enjoy being alive.
Nothing is impossible. Go for it, and getting mentored as early as possible is the key for the success.
When women thrive in science and innovation, agriculture thrives and Africa thrives.
Happy that you have a vision for our involvement.
Yes, ma'am. You have to vote. I'm a son of a woman.